Okay, we already said our greeting. Woohoo! All right. So I didn't make this one, but it says practice test instead of review this time. But yeah. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? When's the test? Tomorrow. All right. Proportionality. Here we go. So, if we look at this table, which one is our x and which one is our y?
X is the top.
X is the top row. Very good. The first one, usually either the top or the left, right, is our x, and the second one is our y. And our constant of proportionality is y divided by x. Careful, careful. It's y over x. Everybody say y divided by x.
Y divided by x.
Right. And so who wants to tell us the answer that they found for number 1?
3.
Mr. Nicholas. 3. How did you get 3?
I just looked at the number 1 out of 3 and I got the answer.
Okay. So we need to do it with division, right? So what are we dividing by what?
Y divided by x.
Y divided by x. So give me an example.
3 divided by 1.
3 divided by 1. That's the easiest one, and that's 3. What about 18 divided by 6? Is that also 3?
Yes.
What about 60,000 divided by 20,000?
3.
Yes. So the answer is 3. You don't have to write over 1, but 3 over 1. Now, they did a strange thing on the test. They said set up a ratio. Usually when you have an equal sign, it's called a proportion. But they have something like this. 3 over 1 is equal to 18 over 6. Is that true?
Yes.
It's true. So it's one of the y over x's equals to another y over x's. All right? So that's setting up a proportion. You really don't need to. You're just finding y over x. So if you see that as a choice, don't get confused. What if you had a choice that said, instead of 18 over 6, what else could it say? Sorry? No, not 12 over 36. Right, 36 over 12. You have to have the second one divided by the first one. Okay, so the other one could be what? The bigger one. The biggest one. 60,000 over 20,000. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go on to number 2, shall we?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, analyze the table. Which one do you think is our x? Top, bottom, left, right?
Shape.
Okay, well, is it the one? It's the one that comes first, right? Yeah. Which one comes first, left or right? The left. So our shape is our x, and our perimeter is our y. So we need to see when they're asking whether or not it's proportional. We need to test to see if it divides the same each time. So who wants to help us through it? Do you have a code name? It was Rainbow Mickey that day, yeah. Or do you want to just go by your regular name? Minnie. All right, Minnie. Okay, so help us out here. Right, so that's going from y to x. That's correct. So 12 divided by 4 is? 3. Okay, what else? And what's that? Right, what else?
16 divided by 5.
Right, which doesn't come out even at all. It's what, 3 and a fifth?
Yeah.
So that's no bueno. So we already know that they don't match, right? So if they do not match, then they are not proportional. So you're going to say not proportional. Now it says explain your reasoning.
I wrote a 4.
I've got an idea. It's just, let's just keep it simple. Because, well, who has a good reason? Why do you think it's not proportional?
No, because 1 times
I love how you used constant and proportional. You used those words in there. Very good. Because the rate of change is not constant between, right? The rate of change between whatever. What do we have? Shape and perimeter is not constant. It's not a constant rate of change. Or the constant of proportionality. That's the one we know, huh? Let's use constant of proportionality instead of rate of change. Let's use constant of proportionality. Because the constant of proportionality does not stay the same. Did you all write that? Proportionality between shape and perimeter does not stay the same. But you could explain it different ways, right? You say, I divided here, I divided there, they were different, blah, 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 blah. Okay. For each graph, state if it represents a proportional or non-proportional relationship. Now, we can do this just visually, right? Because it has to have two things. You know those two things, sir? Very good. Has to cross the zero and has to be a straight line. So do they both cross the zero? No. No. It looks like A on the left. Oh, B and D, that's weird. So B on the left does not. B and D. So B on the left does not. So B is not proportional. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of room. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How about I just put a big knot? No, I'm going to shrink it using the magic lasso. The magic lasso. Not proportional. Don't you wish you could do that on your paper? Okay, it's not proportional because why? Right, it does not pass. Or you don't have to say the origin. You can say 0, 0. Either way. So I'm just going to say 0, 0. But it could be the origin. Alright, what about D? Does it pass to the origin?
Yes.
Is it a straight line?
Yes.
Yes, so we're going to say it is proportional. Proportional. And we're going to say, what reasons? Well, there's two reasons. I'm going to write them here since this marker is so big here. So, one crosses the origin. And two, it's a straight line. Alright, any questions? Easy cheesy. Who had a 100% so far?
No.
Woo! That's many, many, many of you. Alright, may I move on?
Yep.
Turn page over, I can't. Okay. Determine the constant of proportionality and interpret it in the context of the problem. So the cost of rent for a canoe. Okay, what is the constant of proportionality, everyone?
Y divided by X.
Y divided by X! Okay. Now Y is always going to be on the left up here because you guys did your homework. Oh, there's a Y for us. And X is going to be over here. So let's do a Y divided by X. Here, what are we doing? What's a Y? What's the Y for right here? 24. So let's do 24 divided by 2. So it should be 12.
Yay.
How many people got 12?
Yes.
Good for you. In the context of the problem, in the context of this problem, it means that it costs blank per blank to rent the boat. So a certain number of what per what do you think? Money per hour, exactly. Dollars per hour. So how many dollars per hour?
12.
Exactly, 12. I'm going to write a $12 per hour. We should put 1 hour. $12 per 1 hour to rent a cannoli. Cannoli. Cannoli!
That's a food. You can't rent cannoli.
You can't rent food?
Yes, you can rent it.
You could rent cooking utensils.
You can rent it if you don't eat it.
Yeah. Anyways. Holy cannoli. The table and graph show the amount earned for the hour's work. Yay! The amount earned varies directly. Okay, varies directly. What does that have to do with the constant of proportionality? What does that have to do with the constant of proportionality? It means that it's constant. It means that it will be constant. So we don't even have to check it. Times 14 here, right? What about here? Times 14, times 14, times 14. Yep. So these are all times 14. And then the graph is the same thing. Okay, what's our question? What is the constant of proportionality?
14.
14. Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, and I agree. So 14. Okay. What does the point 2 comma 28? What do you think?
$28.
Quiet hand, quiet hand. Go ahead.
$28 for 2 hours.
Right. That you did what for 2 hours?
$28.
No, but what did you do for 2 hours?
Work.
You worked. Very good. So you need to write that out. 2 comma 28 means you, or is it you? Is that what does the problem say? It says, it doesn't say who's working, but we're going to say someone worked for 2 hours and gets paid $28. Man, you could like buy a car with that or something. Alright, what do the X values and Y values represent? Someone who hasn't answered yet. Yeah. Well, remember when we talked about reading the graph on the board for a long time? You should all know this. What does the X mean and what this means? Hours worked. Excellent. And Y means
Earnings.
money paid. Let's say. But yeah, you could write earnings. That's fine. But I'm going to say money paid. Money earned. Earnings. Whatever you want to call it. As long as it's correct, right? Right. What is the equation? Ooh, we talked about that before here. Do you remember? Not y divided by x.
Y equals 14x.
Excellent job, sir.
What's your name?
Remember, we have to do y equals something that constants of proportionality. Y equals 14x. So you need to remember that, or you're going to lose a point. I don't want to lose a point, Mr. Bowser.
I don't either.
Okay, can I move on?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. I put these on a new paper so I have plenty of room to write, but I didn't want to print too much paper for all of you. If the equation for the amount earned was represented by this, so that means how much are they paying you per hour? 2.5 is how much money? $2.50 an hour. That's what that means. So when you're studying at home tonight, you're going to write that down. You're going to say $2.50. That's what that means. What would the amount earned be if you worked for 16 hours? I know how to do that.
2.50 times 6.
Exactly. I'm going to do it the other way around though. 16 times 2.5. So what's that going to be? Well, a half of 16 is 8. So it's 32 plus 8. That's $40. I didn't show all the steps, obviously, but I think I'm right. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah. 2 times 16 is 32. And then I took half of it as well, which is 8, and I added that to 32. So I did them separately. But if you wanted, I'm not sure all that multiplication. You guys can do it if you really want to. But the point is, if it's 2 1/2, you can do the 2 separately and the half separately and add them together.
Wait.
Secrets from Mr. Pass. Like magic.
You can substitute them if you don't want to do money, but then add the money.
Alright, if the equation, okay, this is the same equation. How many hours would you work if you earned, oh no.
Oh no.
How do we do that one? You already answered a question today. How do we do this one? You already answered one too. Anybody?
I answered.
Who thinks they know? What operation is it? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Say it. Division, you're right. So 3750 divided by 2 1/2. That's it. Very good. Which I'm going to do on a calculator because I don't feel like doing it anywhere else. Oh, that's the wrong button. This button. Yeah? Alright. 37, what was it? 37.5 divided by 2.5. $15. I mean 15 hours. 15 hours. So that should mean 15 times 2.5 is 3750, is it?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay. Let me straighten that out.
Yeah, because our last answer was 40. Or times 2.5. Oh yeah, never mind.
There we go. Whoa, that didn't work out quite right. I'm trying to fix it.
Whoa.
Oh boy. We're having problems with our division symbol here. So the answer is 15, which means 15 hours. Okay. Did I write dollars in the other one?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Okay. Last one! Use the equation for the constant of proportionality to calculate x. I know how to do that. Oh, this is tough. Oh, they're being tough. Watch this. So instead of writing k, we're going to write what? 15. So 15. They're being a little tricky McTrickster here. So y over x. So do we know what y is? Yes, so we're going to put a 3. And then we're going to, we don't know what x is yet. So 3 divided by what is 15?
5.
That's divided by 5.
No, they're tricking you.
45.
They're tricking you. It's going to be a fraction. Watch. So let's put 15 over 1, and now we'll have a proportion. Watch. Okay, now does this go evenly? Yes. So how do we get from the left to the right? What are we doing?
Times 5.
No. From the left to the right is divided by 5. Okay, so if we go here, we divide by 5. That's right, it's 1/5. So x is actually equal to 1/5. So whoever wrote this tricky McTrickster problem here was trying to tricky McTrickster you.
Wow, I don't like it.
I know, right? Now, let's test to see if it's correct. So, if this is correct, then 3 divided by 1/5 should be equal to 15. Well, how do we do 3 divided by 1/5? You know how to do that. How? Come on.
3 over 1 or 5 over 1.
3 times 5 over 1. Oh! 3 times 5 over 1 is 15. So yes, it checks out. Yay! Do you guys see what I did there? 3 divided by 1/5 is the same as times 5 over 1. Who's the one who said that? Yeah. Yeah, flip it over, right? Man, that was such a great problem. Are you going to say goodbye to YouTube?
Bye.